Hello there. Welcome back to TerraFirmaCraft Hardrock. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I went out searching for saltpeter and mined up a bit because I want to make something fun today. However, I completely forgot that we have saltpeter literally right there. Right around our house. There's some over in the rocks over there. So yeah, I went out of my way looking for saltpeter for literally no reason. But I did also set up everything to make a new iron chisel because our copper one is almost broken and we're going to be using the chisel a lot. I also went out and got some more pyrite because apparently we can use the pyrite for something, and I'll explain everything as we go. So we go down here. We have some saltpeter being ground down. So we have saltpeter, pyrite powder. Pyrite powder can apparently be washed. No, not washed. Straight converted into sulfur. So we have saltpeter, we have sulfur, we have charcoal powder, and in here we have graphite powder. So let's grab that and go back home. And if you don't know where I'm going with this yet, you'll be very surprised in a moment. We can make gunpowder. So put the saltpeter there, put the sulfur there, the charcoal powder there. We're going to need more charcoal powder, and a bit of graphite there. And that turns into 12 gunpowder. So we can make up 60 right now, and then we just got to crush down more charcoal to get enough charcoal powder to make quite a bit more. What are we going to do with this gunpowder? Well, we're going to make some powder kegs. I have to go find a red flower. So that's going to take a little exploring. Hopefully there's some under a tree where it hasn't yet been completely covered in snow. And then we can make a powder keg, which is what I have this string in my inventory for. And once we make a powder keg, we can set it off to clear out a large area of dirt, stone, sand, all that stuff, which is good because if we go over here, I've started laying out where our boardwalk is going to go. That's what these ice-covered wooden slabs are, and these pillars. Goes out like this for now. It's going to loop around a bit. It's going to be tied to the surface here, but as you notice, the level I start putting the planks on, well, that's about 5 layers deep. So I have to clear off all of this ground. That's going to take a very long time. If we use the powder keg, however, we can clear out a good chunk of it without having to use our pick or our shovel. So I'm probably going to make up 2 or 3 powder kegs, put them a block or 2 down in the ground, light the fuse, run for the hills, probably not make it, and clear out some of the land. So yeah, I've got to go find a few red flowers, get some red dye, and then we're ready to make some powder kegs. And then we're going to have a blast. So to make a barrel, we need 7 lumber, a bit of plant string, and red dye. If we remove the plant string and the red dye, it's the same recipe as making a normal barrel. So we make powder kegs. They do not stack, but we just need 3 of them. And I can leave that in there and pick up our torch. So now what we can do is we go out to wherever we want to destroy and start setting this up. I have the wrong tool. Now, I did want to play with the powder keg in previous series, and I never did get around to it. So here's me rectifying that. We're going to have a little bit of fun. So, depending on how much you put into the keg, will depend on how big of a mess you make. You can hold up to 12 stacks. We're just going to do 1. You seal it, and then what we can do is clear out some of the snow, and then we can lay a path of powder. And hopefully the snow doesn't fall fast enough. So you can lay it out like redstone. And if we take our flint and steel, we can light it and run. Okay, well, I think we need to set the gunpowder into the side, not the top. Admittedly, it has been a while since I did this, so... Okay. Let's try this again. Okay. I'm not getting it to work, so... Now it will. Get a little bit of time to get away. And, well, we see the pollution already. Did not make as big a hole as I was hoping. We may need to get a lot more powder. But it does drop resources for you. So if you're looking to mine, this is a option for you. Yeah, that's not making as big a mess as I was hoping. Well, I need to clear out all this area, so I guess I'm going to be making a lot more gunpowder. But it does tell you on it how big of an explosion strength. So right now it's 0, obviously, because there's nothing in it. As you saw with one stack, it said an explosion of 5, which I don't think the 5 is the block radius. But it might be how far, because I had it about there, right? So it's 1, 2, 3, but down 2, so okay. We got a bit more ahead of us. But gunpowder is a bit expensive. Getting the sulfur is annoying. Must have bin changed in the changes to resource generation in 1.20, which when they changed graphite and kaolinite. But sulfur now, at least according to the book, only spawns deep underground near lava level. They spawn in large veins, but that requires us to go caving. So... yeah, going underground to find the lava pools and then find sulfur is a bit of a nuisance. There's probably some good ones over here where we found the graphite because it's the right rock type, but also there are volcanoes over here, so I imagine there's quite a bit of lava. But yeah, it's a lot of exploring that I wasn't exactly planning on doing today. Especially not, well, I was gonna say, especially not when it's so cold, but if we're underground by lava, we're not exactly going to be worrying about being cold now, are we? Anyway, as you can see, we've got the first part planned out of the boardwalk. I need to finish setting up the crate power. I have the engine set up. I just need to run the shafts to power the sawmill, so that it's not running off the water wheel anymore, it's running off the steam engine. And then we can fuel the steam engine and make processing the lumber much quicker. And then we'll have all the wood for making the boardwalk, which is why we needed the new... where'd I put it? Oh, I left it down by the shore. Where we put the new... I just lost my train of thought. Chisel. Right. That's why we made a new chisel, because we've been using the chisel to turn the full planks into slabs, and so it eats through one durability every time you use it. And we're going to be turning the entire boardwalk here into slabs. It's a very brave turkey coming around when I'm cooking up dinner and trying to decide if I have enough meat, which I don't. How would you like to make a donation? Meat's back on the menu, boys. Here we go. Bit of raw turkey. And a bunch of feathers. Can I cut this again? Yes. Now we have a full inventory. We have poultry fat. We have a single poultry leg? That can't be right. A poultry wing that spawned rotten? Oh, that's not fair. And the breast spawned rotten. And a bit of bone meal. Oh, that's not cool. I literally just... Well, that's a bug. Well, looks like all we get is a turkey leg. That's not quite gonna be enough for the meal I was planning to make. Have I mentioned I hate big cats? I hate big cats. The only reason we haven't frozen to death is because we have this little buff from dying. Okay, so I've got 2 minutes to find where this big cat is, kill it, and get my stuff back before I freeze to death. Aha! Smarter than you. If I don't miss. Come on, come back. Come on back over here. I can't get down there. Well, I can. I just won't survive it. 8 seconds till I start freezing to death. There we go. If I'm gonna die, he's going with me. Where is my corpse? Oh well. At least I got rid of the thing that was killing me. I'll be back. Ironically, I froze to death while out looking for alpaca, so I can make myself warmer clothing so I won't freeze to death. It's a vicious cycle. If I was any closer to the oven, I'd be in it, and that's what it took to actually warm up. Boy, it gets bad when it gets cold out. Well, while we heal up, a little tip if you don't want snow piling up all over the place on you. You can take the sawdust that is created in the, well, from the sawmill. It's a couple different things with it. One of them is you can turn them into sawdust flooring, which, as you can see, you can place down. And it places down like snow does. So, if you place down one, it's going to be one layer deep, and snow can't accumulate on top of it. And just punching it will pick it up. But you can also pile it up like well, like charcoal in TerraFirmaCraft. And that way, well, now we have a little block under there. Nothing's going to gather under there. But now we have this sawdust flooring down, so snow won't accumulate on this and slow us down. So I'm doing that in a few places. And forgive the shaking, ticking. I hate that it does that when you're healing, and it happens a lot. Alright, but we are going to be making a bit more stone bricks, dolomite bricks, so I can build up a little building around our steam engine. Wow. And that will allow us to there's something interfering with that block picking up water. There we go. Right, so we're going to build up a structure around the steam engine so that we can have some place to hide and stay warm, but also so we don't have this mess happening around it during the winter, which is going to last a while. But now we can do this. And because it's getting so much power from the steam engine, it goes super fast. If we were doing it without the steam engine, it would take a couple minutes to go through one stack. And here we can just toss 4 stacks on, and that will be done before they despawn. I've also laid some sawdust down in here just to sort of clean up the snow a bit. And I've made a bit of progress on our boardwalk. I haven't worked on the land since detonating those keg barrels, but you can see what we're doing here, how wide it's going to go. I am going to, once I have the main floor down, I'm going to actually dig up one layer of these slabs and put a full block underneath it so we can run rails along it. Because if you've ever been to Wildwood, New Jersey, you will know, watch the tram car, please. Watch the tram car. Yep. I'm not going to do the sound effect, but we will have a tram car running along our boardwalk. And by that, it's just going to be a minecart. Do we have the minecart engine in this one? Dropper, minecart with furnace, so we can power our minecarts. I mean, we could. We have create. We could build an actual train, but that would be a bit overkill for what it is. I just had an idea, but it's in the wrong spot. I was thinking, you know, we're just going to this giant stone box here. Kind of looks out of place. I'm like, ooh, we could turn it into a lighthouse. That doesn't quite work though. You put the lighthouse out here, not in the river going up the river. That's well, you get plenty of shipwrecks to explore if you did that. Should not have put this off till winter, but you know, what are you gonna do? We now have a whole bunch of goat fur. So if I clear that out, we can make ourselves a goat parka, which should hopefully keep us warmer than a burlap shirt. We also got quite a bit of leather from that and a whole bunch of wool, which I can turn into yarn, which I could then turn into wool cloth, and we should be able to make wool pants out of this. Yes. Takes 4 cloth, 2 trim, which I think is another cloth, so that's 5 cloth. And we have enough to make 4. We'll have to go hunt another animal. But now, we have a nice bulky parka that should keep us warm, and I shouldn't have to worry about freezing to death anymore. Shouldn't. Doesn't mean I won't. I don't know how well the insulation works in with all these different mods interacting with each other. But if it works the way I think it will, it should allow me to continue to work on the boardwalk here in the winter without having to worry about freezing to death. Now, standing underneath and getting impaled by all the many icicles, that's another concern altogether. Well, I wasn't expecting to see that when I looked up. That explains why I'm being pulled around, too. But it's not getting any closer. But it is pulling me. So now you see what a tornado looks like, and that's a biggie. Do we jump in? Sure, why not? Show you what happens if you get too close. Yep, we're going to need another deflector over here. So, that doesn't happen on our base. And this is going to hurt. No, okay. You get, was true in version 3 also, when you're up in the air, you kind of get, like, feather falling. Did you just take some of my logs? Oh, hey, look, here's some of the pollution. That time, I did not land so softly. Well, there goes the health I just recovered. But as you do see, it is not... Well, you can't see, because I've got the darkness effect. There we go. It did not get any closer to our base. Because of this thing. Thank you very much. No, it's still there. It's just not getting closer. So yeah, we're going to make a second one and stick it over in this area here so that it protects the whole boardwalk and not just the area where our house is. Yeah, it's about 100 blocks. Okay. Well, I gotta wait for that to go away so I can go back and get my stuff. And, get back to work. Yep. The tornado took some of my slabs. And that's why we put down the deflector, because if that had hit our base, whole chunks of our base would have disappeared. Hey, look at that. Day 172. Which means, if you account for the 28 days that are lost to the calendar there, we are at day 200 of 360. So we are well over halfway to the to our goal of 1 year. We don't look like we have much, but we're actually not that far from where I want to be. Okay? I need to watch my step. So one more weather deflector, and we're going to put it a fair distance over here, so it should protect the entire boardwalk area. Level out all of this, which admittedly will take a bit of grinding, but it's doable, especially since I don't need to worry about saving the resources. It's, you know, dirt and cobblestone. We'll reuse some of the cobblestone to make bricks, but not going to worry about too much. And then we can actually start working on the actual buildings. I think I said actual like 3 times there. And then we'll be pretty much done. I do want to change all the sand out. That's, again, a bit grindy, but like, well, once we go and gather the sand and come back and dig up the sand, not even well, I'm not going to say 2 days. Just a few days. It's not going to take that long to get that done. But yeah, we are coming along fairly well. Well, at least you look warm, buddy. Until then, though, thank you for joining me today. I hope you've all had a wonderful day. Thank you to my channel members for your support. Yeah, I said hope you have a wonderful day. And I'll see you next time. Later.